police department all you want, but it falls to the Secret Service, to the site agent of the Secret Service, and they are passing the buck on the locals on this. Totally irresponsible. And secondly, you know, we've been talking about whether or not everyone was on the same frequency. What he said was that the Secret Service is the only domestic law enforcement agency that doesn't need to listen regarding the rules of engagement. They don't need permission. They have the right to shoot on sight and to shoot to kill. And they didn't do that. So it appears that there was some kind of mix-up in terms of what was going on the ground. And finally, he attributed some of this to DEI. He said 3 of the people on the stage were much shorter than the president. We've talked about this before. He said optics have to take a back seat to safety. Those people leading the president off stage should not have allowed the president's head or chest to be above them as they removed him from the stage. So, look, this is a problem. She should be removed. And in the end, I think that we're going to find that there was a lack of attention, to say the least.
All right, Dana.
Well, I think that what Jesse is saying is something we maybe assumed, but now perhaps we'll confirm. There's not enough resources to handle all of these events that are happening all at once. And so if I were Mayorkas, I would say freeze, okay? Because we have a problem. We don't have enough resources for all of these. So let's triage the situation, figure out who is going to need what going forward in the next 4 months while we have this election, do an immediate after-action report, and then try to figure out from there. And maybe you have to tell the First Lady, ma'am, I'm sorry, but we've got 2 presidential candidates, and they got to do their events, and we're not able to go to the education event with you. Can we postpone that? Can you do something just so that everybody can get a handle on things? Because these candidates, well, whoever the Democrats are going to be, but President Trump, he's got a big rally on Saturday. He's going to be go, go, go. He's going to probably do 4 events a day. Yep. So they need to figure out a way. Do they have enough resources? And Mayorkas, to me, he should be sitting with her.
Yeah.
When if they're not going to fire her, then the buck stops with her, but he's her boss.
Yeah.
And I just want to add one thing. When I said suspect, I meant in terms of her not running the investigation, but basically she should be answering questions at this point.
Also want to be clear, I would fire her. You were saying I think she should be suspended at least and fired.
Oh, no, I agree.
You want to be clear, too?
What do you want to be clear about?
All right, we got to move on. Coming up, Trump derangement.
That.
Joy Reid thinks Biden's getting COVID is just like Trump getting a bullet.
Up from San Antonio.
Total lunacy from MSNBC's Joy Reid regarding the attempt on Trump's life. She thinks that Joe Biden getting COVID and Donald Trump getting shot in the head are the same.
Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. His survival of that and bouncing right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing?
I got to tell you, I want someone who's going to get angry with this, Greg. The left is so desperate to put Joe Biden on a level playing field with Donald Trump. We're equating millions who died of COVID with an attempted assassination and a bullet to the head.
I don't know. That wasn't the comparison. The comparison was him getting COVID and him having an injured ear, which shows how. Look, my first question I would have, if I was there, I would have said, how did you free yourself from the straps on your gurney? And then I would ask, what would you rather have? An opportunity to get shot or COVID? You can't say bloody ear or COVID because when you're about to be shot, you don't get to choose where you get shot. Something tells me she would have gone with the COVID. You know, here's the deal. Opinions can be crazy. That's fine. But crazy can't be an opinion. When every word out of your mouth could have easily come from a homeless guy in a street corner wearing, discarded trash bags and tinfoil, You have to say to them, mental illness is not an opinion. That is a message to the MSNBC president. What's her name? Take a moment and think about if there's nothing for you to say, perhaps silence is the intelligent avenue.
Okay, all right, Jesse, how rich is it? Joy Reid's complaining she hasn't seen the medical records and doesn't believe it's real, even though it's already debunked that it wasn't glass. Aren't you curious? Don't you think she should be curious about Joe Biden?
I do. She's saying the assassination attempt was a cheap fake.
Yeah.
And did you know that the MSNBC crew isn't even here in Milwaukee, but their studio set up as a cheap fake? They put up an arena of the RNC convention behind them, but they're in New York.
No way.
Yes, it's they're not even here.
Are you serious?
I don't think they're here.
Some of them are here.
Oh, Jesse!
By the way, would you rather catch a bullet or catch COVID? I know my answer. Joe Biden had COVID and didn't even know he had it. He had to go and get tested. I think Trump knew he got shot in the ear. Trump was also tackled and rushed to the hospital. Biden just got on a plane and went to Delaware.
Which is worse.
Trump came this close to a funeral, and Biden had a runny nose.
You know, Harold,
Really think that runs.
you can't deny the reality of this. Van Jones says a bullet couldn't stop Trump, but a virus just stopped Biden.
Yeah, and we shouldn't. We cheapen a moment. And the president of the United States someone tried to kill him last Saturday. We all remember. I remember where I was, and I'm thrilled. And he's blessed to be alive. Just a slight turn of the head, as Dana was doing when we flew out here. We're here on Sunday, moving her head, saying that's what saved his life. We shouldn't try to make light of it. If President Biden has COVID, which he does, I wish him a speedy recovery, but we shouldn't try to compare the two.
Have you seen the
Biden's
medical records?
The medical records of what?
a joke.
President
The
Biden?
COVID.
Oh, no, he has it, I assume, and God bless President Trump. We got a race to run here, but we should all be thankful that he's alive.
All right, wrap
He
it
didn't
up.
wear a mask, though. He says he has COVID. He's not wearing a mask. Really, Harold? Really?
Yeah.
We also had somebody at MSNBC suggest that Trump's ear bandage is fake.
Fake.
But so they think that the ear bandage from a shooting is fake, but that it's necessary to wear a COVID mask. That's not fake. That is really interesting. I also had a great idea just now.
What?
I'm going to create a game. You know those games where you have all the cards and you just put them out, and then you're like, everybody has to act out a little part? Mm-hmm. It's going to be called Baghdad Joy. Mm. And then you just have to, I come up with a scenario.
Yeah.
And you have to come up with the most audacious spin to try to get out of it. And whoever has the most audacious spin, the judge will decide. Mm. And then that's who wins.
Wow.
I'm just workshopping this.
The winner gets a job at MSNBC.
Perfect.
Oh. Mm. All right.
She might not have one of those soon.
Yeah. Coming up, RNC convention goers are rocking Trump-style ear bandages.
Sing a song about the heartland, the only place I feel that.
All right, guys. So that is just some craziness that's happening right now. Like MSNBC saying that COVID is the same as getting shot. Like what are y'all's thoughts on that? I'm just curious. Is there anybody out there that would rather get shot over getting COVID? I've had COVID like 3 times now, and I can tell you 100% I'd rather have COVID than get shot. And it's just crazy because it shows how insane, guys, the media in America is. And honestly, the media has a problem because the media is supposed to be the arbiter of truth, right? They're supposed to tell us what is happening. However, there are narratives in the country now that media companies are pushing, and now it's all about the narrative. It's all about this truth, and they'll say anything to push that narrative forward. And the crazy thing is, I think that some of them actually believe it. They believe what they're saying. Like, the fact that they won't get on a roof because it's sloped, okay? Because it's dangerous for the Secret Service to get on a 2% grade roof. Insanity that people are actually saying that. Joey Reid hinting that the Trump attack was staged for publicity. Like, okay, just think about that. Like, let's fake an assassination, right? Like, what are the logistics of faking an assassination on a president with a massive crowd there. The fact that they're bringing up these theories, and they say that the far right are like the conspiracy theorists. I'm telling you guys, there's no conspiracy theory like what is going around right now. Biden being taken down by COVID. This is something that I wanted to highlight, because when they were talking about that, I was thinking, Biden's taken down by COVID. Trump is getting on a stage tonight to deliver an address just days after being shot. And what that highlights to me, guys, is that we have an election that's based on strength versus weakness. And Biden is playing into the weakness. I mean, if I'm Biden and wanting to give a show of strength, right, then I get COVID and figure out a way of continuing campaigning instead of letting my team say, hey, we got to shut it all down, shut it. He's got a runny nose, right? And if he's seriously sick, I hope he gets well. But from what I'm seeing, he's got a runny nose, he's got a headache, right? They're saying minor COVID symptoms. Shut it down. Shut it all down. Can't do anything. Put on the mask, right? Put on the mask. But then Trump on the other side, he just got shot. And he's getting up there and he's like, you know what? We're not skipping a beat. I will be in Milwaukee. I will give the speech. Insane. And then he's got a bandage on his ear, right? Because when you get shot, I would think the minimum that you're going to want is a bandage, right? And now the media is taking him apart because of the bandage he has on his ear, saying that it was a fake ear, fake ear bandage. And at the same time, Biden over here wearing his mask. I just love the comparison of the two and how insane it is for them to be like, fake. The ear bandage is fake. He got shot. And then Biden over here wearing his mask. Insanity, guys. And it just shows the media in our country is pushing a narrative, and it's absolutely ridiculous, guys, how delusional people are now. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys watching this video. Y'all leave a like if you don't mind. Give it a big thumbs up. Helps the channel. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I'm going to bring you a lot more videos just like this. Anyway, guys, appreciate y'all.